What's up, everybody? Matt from theSOmotorsports here. Today I have Kawasaki 400 here, not to be confused with Johnny's Kawasaki 250 build. I'm not getting any spark, and I think it's due to the points under that there cover. Might also be due to a bad coil, so I got some new spark plug ends, an MGO coil, and I got a points tune-up kit. It comes with a point condenser and some lube. So I'm going to show you guys how to replace the points on this Kawasaki KZ400. This is a 1976. Alrighty, I don't normally suggest using a impact gun for this because you never know what you're going to do to the screws, but I've had these off recently, so I know they're not seized or anything, and I want to get them off fast. So you got a cover, not too dirty. Ooh, look at that. Very nice. And screws are good. It's pretty gross under there. Let me get in there and show you. Alrighty, so here's our condenser, here's our point, gasket, don't lose that, and down here is like a little brush, so they got our cam lobe there, which I can't spin on my own, and then those are on a plate, so the plate stays stationary, and then the cam lobe spins, and it moves this point up and down. Now, you can't see it now, but as this cam lobe goes around, you'll notice that it's making contact, but never moving enough to separate the point. And I believe that that's probably the reason that it's not firing. And then this condenser's here, and it's probably pretty old. So I just figured I'd replace them both and be done with it. I had these off too recently, so I'm just gonna use my little impact here, nice and easy. Got it. There we go. Let's take it to the bench. There's the timing mark. So I'm going to make a mark on the plate so I know where that sits. Obviously, I still need to set timing and things along those lines more accurately. And I'll also need to get a feeler gauge. I don't have one today, but I will need one. There's the condenser off. The reason you need one is because you want a gap when the point comes off to a certain amount. I will do that eventually, but for now I just want to see if I can get spark. There we go. Because if I can get spark, then I know the motorcycle will run. Alright, so we got that guy off too. I don't know about this brush. I'm just going to kind of clean it, and I'm going to try to clean the surface of the aluminum a little bit. They do make, or they do sell plates. You can get new ones. Well, whether they're new or remanufactured is another story altogether. But the kit that came with it all assembled already, with the points on there and all that stuff, it said it was untested. It just wasn't a risk I was willing to take. But yeah, you just get some of the schmoo off there. Packet of lube. Don't forget the cam lube. Believe it or not, a lot of people do not grease them, and I'm sure that's a cause for early point failure. And then there is my point. You can see right away, just look at how worn down that is compared to our new one. So first thing I'm going to do is put this point back in. So get them lined up. Perfect. Well, I say perfect, probably not perfect, but you know what I mean. We're going to use our hardware. Helicopter outside. I wonder if you guys can hear that. Make sure I'm still lined up there. Should be good. Give it a nice twist. There we go. And we might need to loosen that to give it some adjustment later, but this guy's still good. I just want to make sure our guy has clearance there. And this guy goes onto this pin on this little, I guess it's an isolator. Just gotta loosen them up and give you some space. Slide that guy between, like so. And tighten it up. I'm pretty sure you can also use dielectric grease on this, so if you have dielectric grease, that'll work too. because not all the kits apparently come with this little packet. They should, but not all do. And I'm also going to put this back on the exact way it was when I opened it up, assuming that the last person put it on there correctly. Obviously, I'm not sure if that's smart, but that's the way I'm going to do it. These are our timing advancers. You can buy new ones of these. They actually come on the shaft, and this nut pops off, that shaft pops off, and then it pops back in, so you don't have to worry about replacing the entire crank or anything like that. I'm going to grease those guys up too with some dielectric grease, just in their needed parts, because obviously I want to use dielectric just in case. I mean, I doubt it, but that has any sort of reason to have grease go through it. I mean, electric go through it, but also because there's electric components in there, being the condenser and all that stuff, and if they sling, I don't want them to sling some sort of more harmful product at the brand new electric I just put in there. Some of you may not like this, so look away, but I'm going to use everyone's favorite libation, and kind of just clean that out. Try not to spray myself in the eye. I'm using this stuff because it's obviously a great cleaner, being that it's brake clean, but also because it evaporates fairly well. Alright, got some dielectric grease here. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit in places where it looks like water might have sat, in order to hopefully prevent any type of corrosion in the future, because, you know, obviously grease gets rid of water. Oh, obviously spray that with a little bit of compressed air too after the brake clean. Get all the moisture out of any extra parts. Someone's probably screaming at their computer and their phone right now, yelling about how I'm doing this all wrong. Alright, those are where the screws lined up. I'm just going to snug them up a little bit. I mean, yeah, I get it's an engine. Timing's pretty important, but I'm going to come back and see if I can. Well, I'm going to come back and get a feeler gauge and line it up and stuff like that. But the timing should be pretty spot on to where it was before, because all this is lined up in the same spots, and obviously this didn't move, and this didn't move, and this shouldn't have either. So I'll just go back and make sure it's pretty dead on, but this one should move a lot better. Yeah, I'm just going to give that a few turns, put a little grease on it each time, and let the grease kind of do its thing. That's why you need a feeler gauge to see when it's at top dead, how far it is. It's only supposed to be like 0.3, 0.4 millimeter for most bikes. I know the Hondas take that. Obviously, I gotta look up the specs for this one. Getting the spark between that. I wasn't getting that last time. So now I'm gonna check spark in here. It's got a receiving end and a pokey end. Pokey end goes into the boot, receiving end goes on the spark plug, and it'll light up in the middle if it works. There you go, it lit up. Hopefully you can see that. There it is, it's greased up. It's probably not timed right, so we'll probably come back in and readjust that, so I'm not going to seal it up completely with new gasket yet, but I'm going to use the old gasket and close it up just to prevent any dirt from getting in there for now. Best way I found to keep the gasket on without falling off, because this lip is tiny, is just line it up with the holes and shove the screws through first. And then you just get that one started. Then we will do the same on the other side. Get that one started. There's a couple guys that sold kits. Came with a new one of these. Had like writing on it and stuff like that. I think one said Kawasaki, and one said like USA. I kind of want to keep the stock look for now. I might sell this bike as soon as it's fixed. Get something different, but I figure for now, there we go, nice and like I didn't torque it on there, obviously. But I might, you know, it's a good learner bike, and it should be fun. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's how to do points and a condenser on a 1976 Kawasaki KZ400. We'll zoom out here, give you a little shot of it. Tank's not on there now, but it's got this nice blue color, and I don't want the sissy bar on there, so it'll probably come off. probably take the fairing off. Well, actually there's no fairing, but the windshield. So there she is, twin cylinder 400, stubby pipes. There's my current ghetto battery setup. So thanks for watching, guys. Matt from SOmotorsports. Follow us. We are on Instagram, SO_motorsports, Facebook.com/theSOmotorsports, and YouTube.com/theSOmotorsports. If you want, you can email us, theSOmotorsports@gmail.com. And I might make a video of me cleaning the carbs. Probably not, because I don't know much about carbs. Peace out, guys. More Johnny, more the bike, more of everything else next time.